Welcome to Lesson 5, the Java Collections Framework. In this lesson, we're going to be talking about what collections are. Collections are data structures that are pre-implemented for you as part of the Java class libraries. And because they're pre-implemented for you, you no longer need to worry about how to create data structures. You can simply use them in your Java applications. So you basically get to think at a much higher level, not so much about how to manage your data, but simply the fact that you want to be able to manage your data. And now your key issue is to choose the appropriate data structure to use rather than implementing one from scratch. In this chapter, we'll also be talking a little bit about array manipulations again, because there's a class in the Java Utilities package that's part of the collections framework. It's called arrays, and it provides a bunch of standard array manipulations for processing standard arrays. Things like searching through arrays, sorting arrays, filling array elements with specific values, etc. We're going to be talking about the various implementations in the collections framework. Those are the actual data structures that you'll use to create objects. And we're going to be talking about the algorithms for manipulating those data structures. And as we'll see, those algorithms often require specific interface types as their arguments. And depending on what interfaces they require, you may or may not be able to use certain implementations of the data structures with those algorithms. So some of the algorithms require, for example, lists, where others just require the generic concept of a collection. And based on those argument types, those parameter types, you'll be able to figure out whether or not you can use a particular algorithm with the data structures you've chosen. We're going to be talking in detail about the various interfaces throughout the collections framework. And we're also going to talk about a construct called an iterator. An iterator is kind of like a bookmark into a collection, and it helps you keep track of where you are in a set of items that are built into a collection. It also can be used by the enhanced for statement to actually iterate over or touch every element within a collection as well. And finally, we're going to take a look at two additional concepts, things called synchronization wrappers and modifiability wrappers. As it turns out, most of the classes in the Java Collections framework are not synchronized for use with multi-threaded applications. However, with each of the data structure types, you can actually obtain a synchronized view of the data structure and then use that in a multi-threaded application. So we'll show you how to get the synchronized view. And then separately, in cases where you may want to allow client code to use the data in your data structure but not modify it, you may want to provide an unmodifiable version of your data structure. Now, it turns out that the data structures have built into them methods for both modifying the elements within the data structure and also for obtaining the values from those elements. So you can't just return a reference to one of your data structures and expect somebody not to use the capabilities that could modify the data structure. On the other hand, what you can do is wrap your data structure in a modifiability wrapper, and what that does is it gives you an unmodifiable version of your data structure where if the client code attempts to use a method that normally would have modified the data structure, they'll actually receive an exception indicating that that operation is not supported. So you do have a way to present a view, if you will, of your data structure in which the client code cannot modify the data.
Looking to advance your career by acquiring new skills? Tired of expensive off-site training programs? Wish you could learn from the best instructors in the industry? Look no further than live lessons. Self-paced, personal video instruction by the world's leading technology publishers. Each live lesson comes with a DVD featuring 3 to 4 hours of instructor-led classroom training, sample program code that allows you to work along with your personal instructor, and an example-rich study guide. Live lessons allow you to watch the entire course from start to finish, or navigate directly to any of the individual lessons. You'll literally watch over the shoulder of your instructor as he shows you how to build state-of-the-art applications. Live lessons, the power of the world's leading technology experts at your fingertips. To learn more, visit mylivelessons.com today.